This will be our receiving table for parts coming in to the ARSC from the shipping receiving department. It's not fully arranged yet, but this is the area we've designated. Over here is one of the big racks where all the inspected pumps will be stored by bin location. On the bottom are these big crates. This is our core pump and valve storage station. I imagine this is going to grow over time. And over here is our Rexroth repair parts bin. It's two-sided. It's about 30 feet long. So this will be all of our Rexroth parts. The way where the rental sign says rentals, which will be changed, is our receiving area for pumps coming in the building, either from up the ramp here in our roll call area or from the shipping and receiving department. They'll all be pre-staged here, and this is where the photographing and paperwork begins as received. We have a little more improvement to do on the roll call bench area. I'm standing in where the new ARSC office is going to be installed in November. It's 10 by 30 feet. And you're looking out from where the foreman or the service writer can see out into the shop. This low rack you see here is for more inspected pumps that are being pre-staged before we repair. And they all have bin locations as well. There'll be 3 pallets per level and up to 4 pumps per pallet. So we have quite a bit of storage here for expansion. Some of the handling materials are already in stock here. We're accumulating right now. This area here is going to be where our test stand desk and computerization is going to be. Test stand will be right over this area, so it's real close. Technicians can work there, the foreman can work there with a computer, receive all the information and send information as needed. The back of this rack, these 2 racks, we're looking at about 40 feet. This side of the rack is designated for all of our Rexroth special tools tool lockers. We don't know how many exactly we're going to be needing, but this is a space we've designated. These makeshift benches in yellow with the toolboxes is the center, really, aside from the test stand, of where everything's going to be happening. This is where the technicians do all of their factory specified assembly work. There'll be new benches coming in probably by Friday, we're hoping, and we're going to be putting lighting in here and some air to accommodate this. So these are both each going to have their own. As you see, the toolboxes will be populated with all the required tools ready to be used. So everything will be really efficient in this area. We gave our old test stand, valve test stand, a facelift, and this thing runs really good. We go up to 5,000 psi on setting valves and what have you. Off to the left is the new Cat 6 line, ready to be plugged into the test stand. So Drew required that we put a hard line in for that communication, so there it is, it's all designated for that. If we go up further, you look into the ceiling here. Chuck asked us to have them install the wireless antenna. So it's right up there, ready to be moving electrons from computer to computer. There will be at least 1 computer station in this area where the technicians work, where they can do all their online work with Rexroth and do their work orders and get all their test settings and notes before the pump goes to test. And there will be another computer across the way where the employees can punch in and out on their time cards. There may be one in the back, I haven't decided yet, but I'm probably going to also put one over near the Rexroth repair parts area, right on the end there. It's a good spot for the service writer or myself or the foreman to access true links or whatever we need, right, with parts. The test stand 600 amp breaker has already been installed. That's that big area right here. Breakers for the new computer and the washing machine are all in this panel. So that's all ready to go. Once the test stand comes in, we'll have them come in. We need to work at night or whatever, get this thing done. It'll be wired in from the top and on over into the test stand where I'm just about where I'm standing. We're probably going to put it right in this area. The pump will be facing that direction. Crane has access. Over here is our inspection, not our inspection, but our breakdown tables where we actually pull the pumps apart when they first come in. In this area of the shop, we're designating this kind of the cleanup, the dirty area of the shop. It's far away from the assembly side of the shop. And this is where we're going to clean up the pumps, valves, what have you, do small inspections, small repairs or normal repairs. And they'll bring them over here and also take the big pumps, take them apart here, get them initially going and inspected, start their inspections in this area. We have our 5-ton press if we need to punch bearings out or install bearings or what have you right in this area. And another really neat tool we just got was our new washing machine. It's made in Santa Fe Springs right down the road. It's a very nice machine. It's let me show you the inside. Has a double layer tray system. It has over 120 jets. All the parts rotate on this assembly with one little tiny motor with a pulley system. Instead of the typical type that has a big chain and motor on the bottom that's washed in the water, this one has an above water motor that keeps its life for a long time. 100 gallons a minute, 120 jets, 180 degrees. This thing's going to do a really good job in cleaning pumps. That's what we do before we actually put the pumps together. This will be the final wash station where the pumps parts get washed and cleaned down to the metal and taken over to the assembly benches. This is our new, another pride and joy we have is this new Ingersoll Rand compressor. It's been wired in already, it's running, we're using it already. Very quiet, it hardly ever needs to charge up. It maybe runs 15 to 20 seconds at most right now to charge up. So the guys really love this machine. It's a great piece to add to our shop. This, our old green test stand, tried and true test stand, will be removed probably the week of or a week before we get the new test stand. And as a result of that, we're going to lose our oil supply that we use for testing power units. So I am bringing in a 275 gallon tote assembly with a forklift capable and what have you. And it'll be stored on the side with filter carts just for power unit testing. And we don't need a whole test stand for that anymore. So that's a big change for us too. One thing I need to mention is the larger size pumps, 140 to 200 and maybe later 250s, get pretty heavy. So I have in the tunnel a plan to build a heavy duty assembly bench, which you don't see here yet. But when we move the green power unit out, the test stand, there's a big plate underneath that thing that I'm going to utilize to make a really nice heavy duty bench, because that's going to need crane work. It's going to need a lot of heavy work with big wrenches and all kinds of that stuff. So that'll be a later addition that we'll put into the shop, and that'll help the guys a lot. Next, the pumps get tested, certified and signed off, removed from the test stand, and they're brought over here for the final stage. That is painting. had some difficulty, some costing issues in coming up with a paint booth to paint inside the building. So we decided to come up with something, and the reason is we normally paint outside our power units over there in the back, but we don't want to have to take all of these pumps out of the shop, go around the building, across the parking lot, and down over there to paint these things outside. So we wanted a quick way to come off the test stand, walk 40 or 50 feet, unload it here on a pallet jack, connect it to this chain fall, and put it out here and paint it outside the building. This makes us legal with the AQMD. We're not painting inside the building. We don't need a permit. It's not a paint booth, it's what I call a paint barrier. So employees able to go down on the bottom here and receive the pump, bring it down onto what we're gonna put a Lazy Susan down there, and he'll be able to go in and spray paint it with aerosol paint. So it'll be a fast drying paint, and once he's done painting, he'll chain fall it back up to the dock level, put it back on the pallet, and somebody can take it away and go to the next stage. So that's a very simple solution for that. After it's painted and dried, it gets, if it needs a new engraved aluminum label, it will be installed here. This will be the final spot before all pumps are shipped or will called. So this is where that's going to happen, and everything gets signed off, and paperwork gets scanned and filed properly, and pick tickets print, and then the job's done. So that's basically that. And the great tool that we have for the shops now, thanks to Hydraulic Controls investing some money for the future, are these great, wonderful cranes. I miss cranes because I used to use them a lot in my prior job every day. So I'm so happy to see these in here. It's going to be a great help for the guys. This is a 1-ton crane for the ARSC shop, and we have the 2-ton crane in the high power unit shop. So we are so happy to see these. These should be certified by this Friday. So other than that, when the pumps leave, they get delivered down to the shipping and receiving department after the pick tickets have been printed in our office on this end of the building, which is another great help, and or will called by customers, or they want to come on this end too. And that's where we're at right now. There's going to be more improvements, more detail work done, a couple of other pieces of tooling coming in, so we're not quite done yet, but we've done quite a bit. All right, see you later.